Bomber's Golf Tip is brought to you by DiStefano Hair Restoration. Check them out at drdistefano.com. All right, Bomber, we got our new golf tip is going to be on the right arm if you're right-handed, left arm if you're left-handed.
Yep, and we're going to relate it to, I think the first tip I gave you, which was the angle of the bent right wrist.
Right.
So, and I did figure out, well, with some help, the bad guy is the right wrist straightening, correct?
Okay.
And remember, I called it a genetic
defect, right?
Okay.
Yes, I think you.
But actually, it's not. So, like in all sports where you got a ball, right?
Sure.
You throw a ball. What does your wrist do?
Yeah, it's got a release.
Basketball.
It's got a release.
Okay, same thing. But golf is the only one that you don't do that.
You don't release.
You leave that. Well, the release is different.
Later.
But that's what people interpret as this action here. And actually, the right arm, it pulls up and goes straight with the wrist still bent. So that's the action. And again, if I show you the grip before and I bend my wrist, it's actually cocking my left wrist and keeping the shaft in line. Okay. Okay. So from a dress, if I take the club this way, watch my right arm do this. This is how the right arm works in taking the club back.
Yep.
So you can see that's more of a up and in action. Where a lot of people take the club back and they go this way.
Yeah, you hear an awful lot about getting width.
Yep.
But you're saying, you know,
it comes up. The width is that's another tip I can kind of give to you. But let me finish this one. So the right arm is actually coming this way. It's kind of like, it's almost like it's starting a lawnmower. It's coming more this direction, see?
Yeah.
But up, it's coming up the plane actually, and gets set up here. Okay. And then from there, so like the first drill is to just do this up to here, and then just send your right arm down straight.
With a club?
Do it without a club first.
Do it without a club.
People probably have trouble doing it without a club.
Right. Right.
Okay, so it's just that first, and then once you have the club in there, same thing up, and the hit is that direction, up, in that direction.
Because what we're trying to accomplish here is we're trying to get a descending blow on the ball.
Exactly.
And that's where a lot of guys, when they start to get this to go up like this, that's when they start to scoop the ball and and they're actually losing distance, power, and accuracy.
Everything, all three right there. So the bad guy, like I said before, the left hand and arm is a vertical motion, straight up and straight down. The bad thing is when it goes horizontal. Okay, that's why down here the club, it's never just going down to the ball. It's kind of, once this starts happening, it could go anywhere.
Right.
And that's caused by this right wrist.
This bad guy right there.
This bad guy going like that.
Okay.
So that creates the horizontal. So when you're coming down, you know, that club is just always out of alignment. It's never really going right down to the ball. So it's the trick. So the feeling is this way.
Yeah.
And you can just see it once I'm there.
You're gonna be coming back down through there. And that's kind of, now, do you feel a pushing motion with this?
I do. We did this in one of the tips. It can be just right arm pushing, which is how I hit a golf ball.
Right.
Or again, you can feel that little centrifugal force with the left, which will throw it into alignment. But in either case, that right arm is still doing exactly the same thing. It's
still pushing towards or getting to that point of contact and impact with a descending blow, bent wrist.
It's one of the key alignments, and you know, the best way to practice it is obviously first without, then take a club, feel it with, then take a ball and just start hitting them 10 feet, 20 feet, and just start feeling that in, work it right in through your swing.
Now we've been going through a number of different tips here. And one of the things that we've really focused on is how to improve your game with these small little drills, or breaking the actual golf swing down into these essential key component parts. From the hands, the grip, to the hinge, to follow through, to all those pieces.
Yeah. It's all angles and alignments, everything all lined up. Keeping your angles and keeping your alignments, and then
so
pretty much.
And once you get that down, you know, when you go out to play in a round, and I think a lot of people, you know, will do this, and and all of a sudden they'll say, I'm thinking of 15 million different swing thoughts.
Right.
How many swing thoughts should you really be thinking
I
about?
think what they, I don't know if they're thinking of the different swing thoughts. I think what they end up chasing is a feel. Like
Right.
that one time they hit a good one, and they they're chasing
And they,
how
go,
that
and they
felt.
don't know how that
And they
happened.
have no clue how it happened.
Yeah. And I think
So
that's
this,
unlucky.
once you get through you get through these little pieces and you understand how this works, what this one's supposed to do, where it's supposed to be an impact.
Right.
Then you can just work on alignments and do away with the feel of it.
Yeah, it's
Instead of
important to
chasing
be
the feel.
able
It's
to
still,
do.
it'll still feel like something, but you won't be chasing the feel.
Now, you and I have worked together at times last year.
Yep.
We haven't worked at all this year. So what we're going to do when we come back is we're going to put what Bomber's lesson knowledge is and what his lessons are to the test. See if he can get me into doing those things, because I know I have some bad habits. And we'll see if we can break some of those. Right, Bomber?
Sure, let's do it.
All right, we'll be back with more Wicked Good Golf Show right after this.